businesses have a lot of moving parts. We've got customers, employees, inventory, and it's easy to get bogged down if you're not managing these carefully. So, client came to me and they have a auto shop, and they've got customers, they've got employees, aka mechanics, and they've got inventory. They find themselves spending a lot of time manually creating service tickets, and when the customers or the mechanics could be doing this themselves, it'd be a lot more simple. So the goal of this project is to have a portal for the customers to log in, pay their tickets, for the mechanics to log in, check which tickets they're working on and do the jobs that they're assigned to, and automatic inventory management. So we've got Autoful, the mechanic shop API. So we can see unified API with authentication, caching, rate limiting, and automatic stock management. So this will reduce data retrieval time by 80% and prevents revenue loss from stockouts. So, explaining what all that means, I will show you what we got. So basically, this is the back end of the mechanic shop website, where we have customers, mechanics, inventory, and service tickets. We can look at the code up here. We've got all that, each folder: inventory, mechanics, service tickets, customers. So why do we want all that? Well, you have the app and you want customers to be able to access their data. So it would go, customer logs in. They could update their information if they wanted to, or let's say they were done using the platform, they could delete their account. So we have a route for getting tickets. A customer could log in. Let's say they wanted to pay their ticket, which is good for business. You need money. So they would come here, click on their tickets. Now let me get the authorization token. So they could see this is Trevor Best. He's got one ticket. Two mechanics are working on it. And that was on the 19th. And this ticket is going to require 8 Michelin tires. So all that information just from clicking on a button. So that's going to save the customer's time and the mechanic shop owner time. So they pay their ticket, great. Now on the admin side of things, we've got top customers. So you can see Lisa New has quite a few tickets, so she's a valuable customer. This could be implemented with things like customer appreciation, reward points, stuff like that. So that's the customer side of things. But we also have the mechanic side of things. You don't want a static app where there's only one role, and you don't want the customers to see what the mechanics can see, and the mechanics don't need to see what the customers see. So we go over here. Let me pull up the mechanic routes over here just to give you an idea of what we're working with. So we do have password hashing, which I think is pretty standard. You don't want hackers to hack in and see your plain text passwords. That would be bad. So we log in a mechanic. Let's log in the manager. That's me. Alright, so we got the authentication token. Now, what would mechanics be doing on here? They would be looking at the service tickets that they need to work on. So let's just go over here. I forget this. No, it doesn't require authentication, but they would get the tickets, and we have it paginated. So we have one page and 2 tickets per page. So we could see that here's Lisa Nunu again. She's got a ticket, and we could see that Jonathan Bordeaux is assigned to that ticket. It needs spark plugs. Then Trevor Best and Trevor Best is the customer, and Jonathan Bordeaux and Trevor Edge are the mechanics for this ticket right here. So that would be the mechanic sided thing, which mechanics could also add inventory. They could edit which mechanics are on a particular job. So you would add it by adding the mechanic's ID and removing the ID. And basically why all this is important is this automates the day-to-day work that this business does. So when we go to develop the front end of the app, we already have most of the work done. Now we're just using these routes to pull information and present it in a appealing way. And one of my favorite things about making this project is when I got to the inventory. You think, businesses, they all pretty much have inventory, whether that be mechanic shop, think about Walmart, they have inventory, and you could waste a lot of time managing that by hand, or you could just write an API that manages it for you. So that is Autoful Mechanic Shop API. I've been Trevor. It's been real good showing you through the project, and y'all have a great day.